Now inshallah we go on to our fourth property of ism. So we have done the three properties up till now. We did the gender of ism, we did the number adad, we did definite indefinite ma'rifa nakira, and the fourth property is the status. Every ism has a status, and we want to learn what that status, what are the status of ism and how do they look. So this is called i'rab or hala. So let's look at that. So basically an ism plays different roles in a sentence. So when you see a sentence and you see the ism in it, the same ism, sometimes you see it ends in a dhamma, sometimes it ends in a fatha, sometimes it ends in a kasra, and we wonder what's going on. So that's what hala is. That's what the i'rab of the word is. And that is basically the study of grammar. All of grammar is the study of i'rab. What role is the word playing? Why is it behaving this way? The meaning is the same, the meaning of the word itself, but because of its role, the meaning of the sentence is affected. So that's why it's important to understand the i'rab so we can understand the meaning properly. So here we have an example. There's a sentence, ضرب محمد أحمد. And then below that we have محمد ضرب أحمد. Each of these sentences is actually saying the same thing. Muhammad is the one who did the act of hitting Ahmad. Even though the word order is different, Muhammad came second in the first sentence and Muhammad came first in the second sentence, yet because in Arabic the noun declines, meaning the ending of the noun can change. So it kind of keeps whatever position in the sentence it might have, it's taking its role with it. So in that way, Arabic is a bit more flexible. In English, the word order is very important, otherwise the meaning would change, because in English the word does not decline, its ending does not change. In Arabic, the nouns, their ending changes, they take their role with them, so they can be placed in more than one position. The meaning will not be affected grossly. There are certain nuances because of change in position of the words, but not the overall meaning. So what are these endings and what is this property of ism called hala or i'rab? In terms of hala, an ism can have three options. An ism will either be raf'un or nasbun or jarrun. So an ism can either be in the hala of raf' or nasb or jar. These are the three halat an ism can be in. Raf, there are about 6 roles that when an ism plays those roles, it is in the hala of raf. Nasb, an ism can play 12 roles in this hala. So if it is playing one of those 12 roles, its hala will be nasb. And as far as jar is concerned, there are 2 roles that when the ism is playing those roles, its hala is going to be jar. So that makes it 20 roles of nouns, and based on the role it's playing, its hala will either be raf or nasb or jar. However, in addition to these 20, we have to remember there are 4 tawabi', 4 followers. These are 4 other roles that an ism can play, but the hala is not specific to the role because the role is a follower, so it follows in hala the ism it is following. So if it is following a raf ism, so this follower will also be raf. So it doesn't have a specific hala according to the role, it will just follow the hala of the noun it is following. Inshallah, this will make sense. Right now it might seem a little crazy. What we want to understand is that there are 3 halat that a ism can be in, raf, nasb or jar. And all of the grammar study is learning about these different roles. So these 24 roles, the rest of the grammar study is learning about these roles. So of course we will not be able to do that right now. Right now our purpose is to be able to recognize the hala, that's it. Not when does it play this role, when do we see this hala, no, not when. We're only understanding how it will look when it is in this hala. And the way I like to explain this is that one person can be doing different jobs. For instance, a person can be a cook, can be driving children around, and can also be, for instance, working as a doctor. You may not know the role they are playing, but if the person wears an apron and is in the kitchen, you know, okay, right now he's the cook. If he wears the chauffeur's cap, okay, he's the driver. And if he wears the doctor's lab coat, you can easily tell this person is a doctor. So these uniforms that we wear that help identify, oh, that's the role we are playing. These, the study we are doing right now, these are those uniforms. We recognize the uniforms and we link the uniform to a hala. So whenever we see the uniform, we can tell, oh, this noun is in this hala. That's what we're trying to do, inshallah. So let's look at these examples. The column on the left here, all these purple ones, they are showing the hala raf. The word is Muslim in the singular, dual, plural form masculine, single, dual, plural form feminine. Muslimun, Muslimani, Muslimuna, Muslimatun, Muslimatani, Muslimatun. You see that the endings that we already studied when we were studying adad are going to help us now, inshallah. Ani, una, atun endings are all uniforms for the hala raf. In addition to these three endings, the dhamma on the last letter is also an indicator that this ism is in hala raf. So there are 4 clues that tell us that an ism is raf. If you see the ending ani or una or atin, if you don't see any of these endings but you see a dhamma on the last letter, these 4 are indicators that the ism is raf. What about nasb? If you see the ending aini or the ending ina or atin, or if none of these endings is present but you see a fatha on the last letter, these are indicators that the ism is probably in nasb status. What about jar? If the ending is aini, ina, atin, or the last letter has a kasra, these are indicators that the ism is probably in jar status. So of course there are commonalities between nasb and jar, as we see. The ending aini or the ending ina or the ending atin, these are common uniforms for hala nasb and hala jar. If you see a word ending in these endings, you will say either the word is nasb or jar. Till we get better at recognizing the roles, you will say either it's in nasb hala or jar. But if you see a fatha on the word, then it is in nasb status. If you see a kasra, then it is in jar status. So inshallah, this is what we want to get good at recognizing. Let's look at it again. The signs that tell us that the ism is in raf hala, raf state, are ani ending, una ending, atun ending. And if none of these endings is present, I will see a dhamma on the last letter. This will help me recognize the ism to be in raf status. The signs that tell me that the ism is in nasb status, I see the ending aini, ina, atin. And if I do not see any of these endings, I see a fatha on the last letter. As far as jar hala is concerned, I see the ending aini, ina, atin. If I don't see any of these endings, I see a kasra on the last letter. These help me recognize that the ism is probably in jar status. So to make it simple, to tell the status of an ism, look for the presence of any of the 6 endings. Let's recap those endings. Ani, aini, una, ina, atun, atin. Let's look for these endings. If any of these endings is present, then I have to remember ani stands for raf. Aini stands for nasb or jar. Una stands for raf. Ina stands for nasb or jar. Atun stands for raf. Atin stands for nasb or jar. But if my word does not have any of these 6 endings, then how do I know what is the status of the ism? Then I look at the last letter. If it has a fatha, then it is nasb. If it has a kasra, the ism is jar, hala. If it has a dhamma, the ism is in raf, hala. So this is how I tell the hala of the ism. This is the fourth property of the ism, and as I said, all of grammar is study of i'rab. Right now, all we did was be able to recognize the hala of the ism. And we have an exercise here that we will do inshallah to help us practice. So there are some words in our last column, and then we have to tell all four properties, because mashallah now we know all four properties of the ism: jins, adad, marifa, nakira, and hala. The word narin, its jins is mu'annath because Arab said so. Adad is mufrad, it is nakira, and its hala is jar. Qur'anun, mudhakkar, mufrad, nakira, raf. An-nahari, it is mudhakkar, mufrad, ma'rifa because it has al, and its hala is jar. I see the kasra. Bayyinatan, mu'annath, mufrad, nakira, and it is nasb. Ar-rusula, mudhakkar, jama, it's jama taksir, ma'rifa, it has al, and its hala is nasb. Samawatin, jins is mu'annath, jama mu'annath salim, nakira, and it is either nasb or jar, atin ending. Ujuran, this is mu'annath because it is a plural word. All plurals of irrational are mu'annath. Adad is jama taksir type. It is a nakira word, and hala is nasb. Muslimatun is mu'annath. It is jama mu'annath salim. It is a nakira word, and its hala is raf'atun. Al-abiduna is mudhakkar. It's jama. It is ma'rifa because of al, and hala is raf because of una ending. Aynaini, the jins is mu'annath. Adad is muthanna, the two. It is nakira, and its hala is either nasb or jar. Aini ending is either nasb or jar. Shafatani, it is mu'annath. It is muthanna. It is nakira, ani ending, so it is raf. As-sa'atu, it is mu'annath, jama mu'annath salim. It is ma'rifa because of al, and the ending tells me it is raf, atu ending. Ka'sin is mu'annath, it is mufrad, it is nakira, and it is jar. Sabilaini is also mu'annath, it is dual, muthanna, it is nakira, and aini ending tells me nasb or jar. As-sahibi, it is mudhakkar, mufrad, ma'rifa, jar. Mudarrisatin, it is mu'annath, jama mu'annath salim, it is nakira, and it is atin ending, so nasb or jar. At-tullaba is mudhakkar, jama, what type? Jama taksir. It is ma'rifa because of al, and at-tullaba is nasb. Al-walidani, it is muthanna, it is mudhakkar, it is ma'rifa because of al, and it is raf because of ani ending. Ayatun is mu'annath, jama mu'annath salim, it is nakira, raf. As-sadiqina is mudhakkar, ma'rifa, jama, mudhakkar salim, and ina is nasb or jar. Jannatin is mu'annath, it is jama mu'annath salim, it is nakira, and it is nasb or jar. Qulubun is jama, it is mu'annath, jama taksir, mu'annath, it's raf, and it is nakira. Thawaban is also nakira, it is mudhakkar, it is mufrad, it is nasb. Sharabin is mudhakkar, mufrad, nakira, and it is jar. Shamsaini is muthanna, it is mu'annath, it is ash-shamsaini, so it is ma'rifa, and aini is nasb or jar, and an-nufusi is mu'annath because it is jama taksir, and it is ma'rifa, and it is jar. So inshallah, hopefully we will be able to recognize the hala of the ism.